A garden with a bench in a memory care facility. A frustrated Elle is wandering around in search of her husband. When she spots a forlorn-looking man, Corey, she addresses him.
Have you seen my husband, Patrick? I never go to his room. We usually meet at the exact spot where you're standing. His attendant Felice always brings him out here at 10, my appointment time. Are you new here?
I don't work here, and I don't know where your husband is.
Well, what are you doing here?
Corey ignores Elle and sits on the bench.
I haven't seen you before. Are you visiting your wife?
It's my husband. I transferred him here from the Culver City Senior Care a year ago. It was January 2010, the beginning of a new decade. His dementia had gotten worse, and they suggested this place. I think it was just an excuse because they couldn't or they didn't want to handle him.
Oh, sorry, my mistake.
That's okay. I'm used to it. This marriage thing is still new to some people. Hard to believe it's only been legal for the last 3 years. God, it's hard for me to believe it's 2011 already. We thought it was a big deal becoming parents in 95, but getting married seemed to change our relationship. My name is Corey.
I'm Al.
Anyway, that place in Culver City was as bad as a snake pit. Thank goodness I found this place. Although, isn't it crazy having it named Sunrise, as if this place is a new beginning? When I went to his room, the attendant stopped me and said they were cleaning him up and to wait here. I think there were some changes because of the holiday and different staff.
Oh, it is beautiful out here.
Elle's phone rings and she gets up from the bench.
Look, I know that nurse is new. Look, just try to understand. Really? No, I don't believe that. I can't talk now. Goodbye.
As she finishes, she sits down by Corey.
It's a shitty disease, isn't it? I wonder why Patrick would, if Patrick will ever recognize me. He thinks I'm some strange woman when I come to visit him.
Same with Noah.
You know, if I had Alzheimer's, maybe this wouldn't be a bad place to live. Anyway, it's better for Patrick. At least he has a community around him of other people stricken with the same illness. At home, he was having a difficult time. He was retired and just sat in front of the television all day. No other human contact except for me.
I haven't seen you here before. It's usually pretty quiet here in the morning. Noah doesn't talk much, and sometimes I just enjoy the peace and quiet.
Like I work. I just changed my schedule so I can visit in the mornings. I would go crazy if I didn't have my nursing job. I retired when Patrick got sick and I took care of him, but now that he's a resident here, I went back to the hospital. I had Patrick admitted here in 2009. I really needed an escape.
I know. Noah was the breadwinner. He had a successful hearing aid practice, so I didn't need to work. I'm still kind of surprised we haven't met before, since Noah's been here since 2010.
Elle leans down and pantomimes petting a dog.
Oh, this guy reminds me of our dog Guppy. According to Patrick's doctor, Guppy was the first to identify Patrick's dementia. Every time Patrick urinated, Guppy would bark. Apparently, they can sniff out Alzheimer's disease by smelling the odor changes in urine caused by the illness.
We had a cat. I think they are so stuck up.
Mhm.
But I will admit that our cat, Candy, was a lifesaver at keeping Noah company when I was doing errands and needing a break. When I came home, Candy would be on Noah's lap.
Mm.
Before Noah got sick, he wouldn't allow us to have any pets. He was a real germaphobe, but with dementia, it's like he forgot to be afraid of germs.
I know what you mean about a pet as a godsend. I'd watch Patrick and it looked like he and Guppy were communicating, that it was easier for Patrick to talk to Guppy rather than struggling to find the right words for our conversations. Unfortunately, Guppy died of old age. He was 13 years old. After Guppy was gone, Patrick went further downhill.
I get it. I sometimes would bring Candy here, and Noah's whole attitude would change. The people who run this place said usually pets weren't allowed, but they made an exception for Candy. At first, Candy really helped Noah adjust to this place, but recently, Noah's no longer connected with her, so I stopped bringing her here.
Corey stops and holds his stomach. Elle ignores Corey's distress. Her phone rings again. Elle looks angry as she answers.
Look, I can't really talk right now. I'm visiting Patrick. No, no, I understand. Look, what if we just go over it during your break later today when my shift starts? I am not being rude. I do want to listen to your complaints. Look, I'll set aside an hour for you. Goodbye.
Dog barks.
But it seems this little fella is a community dog.
Uh,
He's got a big responsibility taking care of all the residents. Look, he's running off as though it's his cue to go on a rescue mission to save one of the patients.
what kind of work do you do?
You know, I did lots of volunteering, especially in the 80s when AIDS was decimating my community. I ran rap groups for the Gay and Lesbian Center for guys who were HIV positive. Then in the 90s, I got involved with the city of West Hollywood. I kept busy. Of course, now Noah consumes all of my time.
But since Noah's staying at Sunrise, isn't that another transition for you? That you don't have to take care of Noah?
You're right. Maybe that's why I've been feeling aimless. Like I don't have a purpose. I guess you're lucky that you were able to get back to work. Are you okay?
I'm diabetic, and I felt like my sugars were crashing. Guess I didn't.
Like sugar.
I guess I
You have to
didn't
remember this.
eat before I came here. I had
Yeah.
no idea it would
Try
be,
to find some popular sugar-based
I'd be
recipes.
waiting this long.
That's probably why my stomach is acting up.
Yeah.
My doctor said I need to eat every 2 hours. I had colon cancer 2 years ago.
Oh,
Both Corey and Elle look up and off to the side, listening to music.
Whoa, that
mm,
song brings back memories.
yeah.
I couldn't believe that it was banned from being played after 9/11. As if the line about leaving on a jet plane and not knowing when you were coming back would be so insensitive to the survivors of 9/11.
Yeah. Mary Travers' voice is so rich. I just found out that a very young John Denver wrote that song before he became famous. Music's been a big part of our lives. Patrick used to write music reviews.
Something about that song really bothered Noah. Whenever it came on the radio, he insisted we change to another station.
Patrick loved their music. We used their wedding song, There Is Love, when we got married. We've been married 40 years.
Same for us. I like to say we were illegal for 38 and 2 years legal. We got married in 2008 during those few months when it was legal before Prop 8 put a halt to same sex marriage. I couldn't believe how quickly things got worse after Noah's diagnosis.
Oh. With Patrick, his descent was crazy fast. I just hadn't seen the signs of Alzheimer's when he started struggling with words. He'd be in the middle of a sentence and then just stop talking. And he gets so angry when he lost things and forgot their names. But the doctor said even if he'd gotten diagnosed earlier, there wasn't any effective treatment. It wouldn't have made any difference.
Corey and Elle both look up, acknowledging the entrance of two men.
Oh, finally, my Patrick is headed this way. Oh my God, he's kissing another man.
Oh, crap. That's my husband, Noah.
Nice. Let's see. So the first one is When Love Is Not Enough. Susan Lynch and Corey Todd.
I thought Susan and Todd did a great job of bringing my words to life, so appreciate
Thank you,
that.
Gordon. Thank you, Gordon.
What an ending. Oh my goodness.
Was not
It's actually
expecting.
the beginning of a full-length play.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Is that the ending? Oh, you're saying that is the beginning. So
That's the first, pretty much the first scene.
so how they deal with that new relationship is the
Right.
situation.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right.
I sort of based it on
Is
who was
that
the
Ghost in a Bottle?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. When it was Sandra Day O'Connor when her husband had dementia and he didn't recognize her when she came to visit him, and he ended up having an affair with another woman there. So I
I
just added another wrinkle about not only were they having an affair, but also the
I thought
the
it was
guy.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought the husband had a wife that had dementia that started an affair, and then it was up to the husband to realize when he.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe you're right.
Okay, all right, yeah, yeah. That's when the two men walk out together. That's kind of
Right.
for me, and whether or not they're going to be willing to give up the love for that person so that they can continue to love somebody else.
Right. And of course, it's doubly hard for the woman because they've been happily married for 40 years, and of course, she's going to have doubts. Was her husband closeted? But that probably really isn't the case because, with Alzheimer's and dementia, I think anything goes.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, they become different people, I think,
right.
some ways.
And I've heard of families that have to deal with their parents who have been horrible people all their lives. And then when they get dementia, they're the nicest people they've ever met.
I think sometimes it goes the other way too. So,
Usually it goes the other way,
yeah,
fortunately.
Get anger issues sometimes at the end and they're not really behaving as themselves. That
no,
was going to be my question originally. Is this part of a longer piece because it felt like it was, and I wanted to know
Yes.
more. And yeah,
It is,
I
it
like
is
the
part of a long,
distinction.
right. It's part of a longer piece, and also it's an adaptation of a novel that I published called Harmonic Dissonance.
Do you think you're going to be bringing the pieces back to us as we go along in the story?
I don't know. I know you said that that's an option. I'll think about it. There's a lot of backstory to the marriages, which I don't know. I don't know how well that would work, and you know, it might take months and months, just to get new. So
And are the backstories, are they a heavy influence in these two characters now that have?
I think it just fleshes them out. Um, and yeah, I don't know. And then I would also have to have two more actors play the two guys in the memory care unit.
Right,
So those are the characters. So
right. Should be too big of a problem.
It's
yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
And very timely too with
Yeah.
the
And
topic.
I think a lot of us have been touched by Alzheimer's in one way or another. It's so in our face in a lot of different areas, you know.
Right. And it's probably not dealt with very much, especially in the lesbian and gay and trans community.
Right. And your setting and I think, you know, you don't well, it's your play, but you know, you don't have to focus so much on the backstory, more on the here and now and how everything has changed and it's like a different reality for everybody.
Right, right.
And I thought it was going to go to different directions because at one point in the story, I think you say the Elle character mimics petting a dog. So I thought maybe she was the patient.
Too.
That's very interesting. I had this read in another group, and I didn't even mention the pantomime. And the people on the call like this, you're right, they thought the same thing that it was an alternate reality and maybe she had Alzheimer's.
Right.
And
Ah,
and also the thing about the music. And so for this version, I tried to make that very clear, but I guess I didn't succeed. So.
I think you have to introduce the dog sooner
Yeah.
because he just kind of shows up.
I was hoping Todd has a dog. I was hoping that he would bring the dog, but we couldn't pay the dog enough.
Yeah. These union things are tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
there was a wonderful movie I saw the other day, and I didn't expect it to have this element of Alzheimer's in it. It's because basically like a comedy. It's with Helen Mirren. It's called The Thursday Murder Club or something about a group of retirees
Yes, right.
in a home in England. And her husband, Helen Mirren's husband in it, plays chess and he's presented as like pretty, you know, not really dealing with reality. But he has
Uh,
this very, very clear moment in it, which
wow.
was really, I mean, and he was sharp as a tack. And then I don't want to give it away because it's
Yeah.
really a good movie. And then the person talking to him says, you know, but you're blah blah blah, and it's like an unveiling of his knowledge of something that everybody else is searching for. And then the guy calls him on it and he completely says, now what were we talking about again? It was really interesting.
Sounds good.
Well, I had a moment with my father once. I was visiting, I think we were living in California at the time, and I came out for a visit. And as a backstory, I went to high school with Linda Hamilton. And as I was sitting talking to my father,
Terminator Linda Hamilton.
Yes.
Yeah.
As I was sitting talking to my father looks at me and says, you know, my son knew Linda Hamilton in high school.
Oh.
Aw.
But the thing is, I saw that moment where he caught himself and realized that he had said something, you know, that wasn't quite right. Like he knew at that moment, wait a minute, I'm talking to my son. Of course he but there was just that moment of disconnect. And I kind of remember that real strongly that he said that. Yeah. It's a lot to deal with sometimes.
Mhm.
And sometimes when they're close to the end of their life, my experience with my mother was she had this moment of clarity, and it was phenomenal. I mean, she was like right there in every moment, and then she sort of went into a coma for a number of days. But it was like a gift.
Okay, well, then I have a little story that me and my younger sister will tell each other. So at the end of my father's death, he was home in hospice. And he was basically curled up almost in a fetal position. And my youngest sister came over. She had been working in hospital. She said, well, why don't they just increase his morphine? And my older sister said, well, we told him not to. We didn't want him to get addicted. So my sister increased his morphine and he just relaxed out.
Of course.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to ruin the moment here, but my dad is 96 and he doesn't have Alzheimer's at all. He knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
He's very lucid. And I don't know if that's scarier in a way. You know what I mean? I mean,
No,
it's
it's
like,
great.
I mean, it's
No.
great for us. I mean, it's great for me and his 95-year-old girlfriend. But it's very I mean, it's just he knows what's going on. So it's I guess that's the difference, right? People who have Alzheimer's don't have a clue what's going on, right?
Right. Eventually, yeah.
It might be good in this day and age. I don't know. My
Yeah.
partner's 104-year-old mother says she'll be, I don't mean to be political, we're not supposed to be, probably, but she says she'll be happy to go when what's his name is in a orange jumpsuit. And that's just let it all go.
All right.
Hmm.
That could take a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a playwright friend whose mother is turning 105, and another one whose mother turned 103. I mean, it's really, and they're very, very together.
Nice. Yeah. Something to look forward to. I keep telling my family I'm going to die when I'm 82, but they don't believe
Don't say that.
me.